I went back in there and I told them what she said, and I said it loud enough that my mom could hear me. So she knows I told them, and not the first time one of them said a cuss word. She called me down the stairs and beat me. Like,
really?
Like, yeah. And that was the first time I heard that.
But you was a victim at the end of the day. Like, this whole snitching thing is kind of getting out of hand to where if a victim see a crime and they say something,
they're snitching.
They snitching. Yeah.
Like, oh, you dropped dime. Oh, you're a rat. No, I'm not a rat. That you shot my husband, my fiance, in the eye like a bitch. And it was something that you did, and you shot me too like a bitch. And I can't say nothing about it. No, I'm sorry, but you're trying to intimidate the wrong white girl.
Right.
And I'm not for it.
But what did you get shot at?
I had a guy that was going to go down on him. Why am I whispering? I was going to go down on him, and like I get about this far away from his junk, and I'm like, I don't think so.
Wow.
Like, and he pulled out a baby wipe, and he was like,
a baby wipe? Get the hell out of here.
I was like, oh, hell nah.
Oh my God, a baby wipe.
But you're just smearing the dirt.
Right. sh0t, what it do? Man, I'm out here in Baltimore right now. I'm on Liberty. What's this, Liberty Heights? I can't tell what that cross street is right there, but man, I'm out here in Baltimore right now. It's late. I'm outside Dolo in Baltimore right now, and real quick, you know, these videos is not to glorify drug usage, crime, anything of that nature. It's all educational purposes, and to spread awareness. So I'm gonna put that all in the beginning of all my Baltimore videos while I'm out here. So yeah, y'all, I'm going off the grid. You know, you guys, you know, I'm out here to be with my father. He passed away, and he lived in not Baltimore, but he lived in Maryland. So this is actually really helping my grieving process, talking to people, and this is going to be an adventure. So hopefully I get a handful of people out here in Baltimore. So Wado. Alright guys, we at West Forest Park Ave and Garrison Ave, right? And today we have Snow. Hey Snow.
Hi, how you doing?
How are you?
I'm okay.
You hanging in there?
Yes. Kind of tired.
Yeah. How old are you, Snow?
I'm 39.
Okay.
Yep.
Where you from?
I'm from PG County.
Oh, okay.
Originally. Yep. Been in Baltimore 7 years.
Wow. Okay. How was your upbringing in PG County?
It was rough.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was rough.
You had your mom and your dad?
My mom and her stepfather. Yeah. It wasn't so great.
It wasn't what?
It wasn't so great.
No.
My stepfather was cool. He was a good guy, you know. He helped my mom out. She had 5 kids, and she was on welfare, and she had a hard time making ends meet, but he helped her a lot.
Yeah.
Big deal. Yeah.
Shout out to your stepdad for doing that.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah. Did the trauma come from your mother? Yeah. I'm sorry.
It's not your fault.
Yeah, I know, but I hate to hear that. I'm very big on upbringings when it comes to mom and dads and stuff.
Yeah.
So, what traumas do you deal with your mom?
Oh my God. My mom, I got molested a lot.
Yeah.
And there's tapes, and my mom was pretty abusive mentally and emotionally. You know, I was a heavy set kid. Like, damn, I was almost 200 pounds by the time I was in 6th grade.
Wow.
You know, and when you're a little girl, you know, that's a crucial time period of building self-esteem.
Definitely.
So as a child, when you're having it rough in school and kids are picking on you and fighting with you and stuff, and your self-esteem's bad, and you go ask your mom, you know, Mommy, you think I'm pretty? And she's like,
wow.
Okay. And it impacts you. And that's just an example. It's not like you know, I mean, that kind of sounds petty compared to some things. It's just an example of an emotional self-esteem.
Right.
Abusive situation that's traumatizing to a little girl.
Right, definitely.
Like you should never make your little girl feel that way.
I agree.
You know. So. But
Go ahead.
there's a lot that goes, a lot that goes in with that. I never trusted her. So I never felt like any real love at home. Never. I always felt like a kind of empty spot. Like I don't really even know how to explain it.
Did your other siblings deal with that, or was it like mostly you?
Honestly, I really don't know because I have 3 other older siblings from her, but they're the youngest one out of the 3 is 6 years older than me.
Okay. Oh wow.
So we're all like very far distant in age, and then the closest sibling I have to age range is my younger sister, and her being my younger sister, we always butt heads. But as I got older and I moved out here, her and I don't really speak anymore.
What is her situation as an adult? Is she going through anything?
She's spoiled as shit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she is spoiled. She's lived with my mother most of her life.
Really?
I don't know why there's such a difference in the way that my mother chooses to treat her and I.
Interesting.
It is because, at one point in my life, I was making a lot of money, and I would help my mom with her bills. I'd help my little sister with her bills, even a phone bill, because I couldn't contact her. Her husband at the time was kind of abusive to her. So, I've always been protective of my baby sister.
Right.
So I wanted to be able to speak with her. It was important to me. And I made sure I bought her a cell phone, a bill. But, my mom has always taken care of her and provided for her and her children. So, but
it's something about you.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, because I've helped her through years. I've never really been a bad kid.
Right.
I always did good in school. I was I'm not gonna say I was a goody two shoes.
Right.
I was just a kid.
A kid, regular
didn't
kid.
get in a lot of trouble.
Right.
Yeah.
You guys have separate dads or different?
No. My youngest sibling. No, it's her and I. And we have the same father.
Okay.
But my older ones, they have a separate father.
Okay, gotcha. So I was trying to figure out something what you guys have different dads. It makes you despite your dad,
no,
or
I don't know what it is. Like my little sister's always, I think, been her favorite. I know it sounds petty, but I think that I remember as a kid, my little sister had this blanket that she used to sit with in the morning time. I remember grabbing it one morning and my mom snatching it from me and saying, "You can't use that. That's your sister's." And then my mom would make her scrambled eggs and hot chocolate every morning, and I asked her for a cup of hot chocolate, and she said, "You know that's your sister's. Well, what do you have in reserve for me?"
Right. But she'll give you nothing, basically.
Yeah.
It's like the Cinderella story a little bit.
I got my at school.
Damn.
And I didn't understand why. I never understood it. Never. And I'm sure she would come up with some bogus ass lame excuse.
Have you ever asked her?
Oh, honey, I've asked her that. At this point in my life, I love my mom, but I can't keep her right forefront with me because it hurts too much. So I have to love her from a distance.
Yeah.
And I had to learn how to do that because I struggled for her acceptance. But it was something that, I was never good enough, I guess you could say, or at least that's how I felt. That's how she made me feel. And when I would speak to her about stuff, this was always her thing. Either I didn't remember it correctly, or that never happened.
Wow, so she denied it.
She did that so much to me from the time I was a child that I literally started second questioning myself. Am I crazy?
Right.
And am I making shit up in my head? And what I really, I couldn't understand. This is when I got a little older. I started, really trying to piece it together. Why does she do this or whatever? And she wouldn't tell me nothing about her her background, her growing up, because I know that the way you grow up has a lot to do with how you are as an adult. It impacts you.
Definitely.
And so maybe if I knew a little bit about her life then, I could understand and forgive some of the things that she had done to me that were very detrimental to me as a person. And it wasn't until like I was in middle school and I had 2 girlfriends over spending the night, and she literally set herself up. Like, we were teenagers, we're gonna say cuss words and stuff and think it's funny, but she sat outside my bedroom door. None of my friends ever wanted to spend the night, and after this incident, none of them ever did again. Because they didn't want to. Right. And so they're sitting and talking with me, cutting up, talking about boys in school and stuff. And she calls me out of the room and she's like, Crystal, you better tell your little friends in there, stop cussing or you're going to get your ass whipped. And so I went back in there and I told them what she said. And I said it loud enough that my mom could hear me. So she knows I told them. And the first time one of them said a cuss word, she called me down the stairs and beat me. Like, really? Yeah. And that was the first time I hit her back too. And that was the only time I ever hit her back. But I told her at that point in time, I'm sick and tired of you hitting me. She hit me with cords, shoes, whatever. I locked myself in the bathroom as a kid one time because she was going to beat me over tossing a fork in the sink. And I don't mean like from across the room, I mean like from me to you. I walked past and tossed it in the sink and kept it moving. And I locked myself in the bathroom and she tricked me and was like, I'm not gonna spank you. Come out. She's out the door giggling and stuff. And as soon as I opened the door, she grabbed me by my arm and whipped my ass severe, like bad. I remember in 3rd grade, my 3rd grade teacher, Miss Bellatier, she had my mom come in and told her that if she seen any more bruises on me, she was going to call CPS. So, there's a lot of abuse. But back to my friends, like, they were there when that happened, and I confronted my mom about it not too long after that, and she said that I didn't remember that right, and that didn't happen that way, whatever, and so like it was really messing with my head. And I happened to be on 3-way with them one evening, and they were like, "Why are you so quiet?" Because I was always a jokester and stuff. And I said, "Y'all remember the last time y'all spent the night?" And came out their mouth, "How could we forget that?" And they stated exactly what I knew had happened. So that right there was it for me. I didn't have to second question myself anymore, and at that point I really, really started to despise her. Because how could you make your child and know that your child is starting to feel like there's something mentally wrong with them and there's nothing at all wrong with them?
Yeah, she's like really manipulating you and like trying to. It's crazy. She definitely has some mental abuse with you, man.
Yeah, like I remember being like, I think I was 8 years old, and I was in her room sitting in a rocking chair she had, and she's sitting on the floor and she put her head in my lap. Like I was like her teddy bear almost. Like, the only thing I didn't get was her happiness, but it was like a security teddy bear. I guess she told me secrets and came to me about. She talked to me about everything under the sun, just about, except that she thought was age appropriate for me. But I remember at 8 she laid her head in my lap and she started talking to me about possibly having to separate us and put us in foster care because she couldn't afford it anymore. Wow. And that bothered me a lot. So but I don't think I cried, but it bothered me a lot, just for the simple fact that why am I 8 years old and I have brothers and sisters that's way older than me that you could talk to about this? Right. I don't need that extra shit on my plate.
As an 8-year-old.
Yeah. Like, there's nothing I can do about that except for have emotions about it.
Do you feel like you seek love like some type of affection as your adulthood?
Honestly, because I have a trusting issue with my mother.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like it took me a long time to figure these things out, but I took a big interest in psychology.
Right.
But because when you can't trust your guardians,
Mm-hmm.
the people that you're supposed to feel the safest with, and you have a hard time trusting them for anything, guidance, love, anything, it makes it hard for you to accept other people and their love, because you never know if it's real or fake.
Right.
And so on that note, I keep my circle very small.
Yeah.
Because if I get hurt, it's my own fault.
Yeah.
And when even just a friend, I put a lot into that. Because my circle is so small, I care a lot about the people in my circle.
Right.
And for example, I had a boyfriend I was with for almost 5 years, and 2 years ago he got murdered.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Thank you. And it was real hard for me because I felt like he told me that it was okay. It was okay to be close to people, to let people know about you. But I told him that too. So we were both kind of had the same stuff going on, and I found myself just talking to him about things that I never ever talked about.
Mm-hmm.
And he knew me better than anybody ever did.
I'm sorry for your loss.
Me too.
I'm sorry.
He's a good person. But at any rate, I called my mom. I hadn't talked to her in years. And I called her because I needed some comfort. And that's not what I got, and I should have known better.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
And I told her, I said, Mom, I'm really having a hard time. And I said, Roy got murdered. And I told her a little bit about it. I can't speak about it because the trial's still going on.
Mm-hmm.
But, she was like, well, you can't move in here. And I was like, I wasn't calling you for that.
Right.
I was trying to let you know that he got murdered and my heart hurts and I need some comfort, and he got murdered by some drug dealers, and I didn't write, I'm not gonna say I snitched or I went out and told on him, but I called an ambulance and I told them my boyfriend got shot, and I gave him the address, and I hung up because of the situation that it was. And they went so far as to get a hold of my boss several days later and said that they were going to start having no choice but to look at me as a suspect if I didn't speak with them.
Wow.
So I did, but I was so angry. I felt like the right thing to do was to just tell them the truth.
Yeah.
And that's what I did. And I was okay with if they came after me because I did what was rightfully so to do.
Right.
I'm okay with that.
But you
wasn't. He deserved that. He deserved that justice.
I agree. I mean, you wasn't part of any crime during that situation.
No, hell
right.
No. I
so
was a victim.
You was
I
a
got
victim.
shot too.
Really?
Yeah.
But where did you get shot at, if you mind me?
This ignorant dumbass had got a hold of one of those gas pellet rifles.
Okay.
And he had that bitch up to my boyfriend's eyeball. He stole the money. He was one of the guys that it was him that my man was selling. Him and this other guy's shit that my man was selling. And he came in and counted the money with my man, and it was $20 over. And I don't know what happened between the time he came in and went outside, but he came back in with the pellet rifle in his hand. being real boisterous, asking him where the money was and what happened and yada yada. And my boyfriend's like, "What are you talking about?
Right.
What are you talking about? We just counted it. What are you talking about?" Puzzled as shit. And then it clicked in his head. We had just heard him complaining about money and how he needed money. So I'm thinking, because there was two guys that ran the shop and it was really the other guy's money. It belonged to the other guy.
Right.
The stuff that was sold, the profit from the stuff that was sold belonged to the other guy. His stuff didn't sell.
Right.
So he stole it. He had to have stolen it because we gave it to him.
Right.
And he comes back in and he takes my boyfriend to the other room and he held the gun to his eye, but I couldn't see that. All I could see was his back. And I remember my boyfriend was like, "Crystal, baby, it's time to put your shoes on. Get up and put your shoes on, baby." And I was confused as to why he was saying that. You know, I didn't know. I thought when the guy brought the pellet thing in there, he was trying to intimidate him because they fired everybody else but him because he was the only one that kept the money straight. So it's like something in that just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, something, yeah.
He was set up.
Yeah, something ain't right.
And I think that's exactly what it was. Dude was having money problems, so he stole the money and put it on my man.
Damn.
And like,
And
he's dead. He's gone as a result of it.
and this happened right here in Baltimore?
Happened on Christian Street.
On Christian Street?
Yeah, today. There was a court date today. And
Really?
I unfortunately missed it. I'm kind of scared. Like, I'm the only witness, but I'm kind of like scared to face him again because I don't know what I'm gonna do. Like,
Do you get threats out here right now outside or no?
No, he supposedly sent a threat to me after this first happened when the second trial was coming up, saying that I thought I was safe because nothing happened to me in the first trial. But you better watch this second trial. And nothing's happened, but at the same time, I don't got him being big enough to do anything, you know, like.
Right. But
he's
you.
a punk.
But you was a victim at the end of the day. Like, this whole snitching thing is kind of getting out of hand to where if a victim see a crime and they say something,
they're snitching.
They snitching. Yeah.
Oh, you dropped dime. Oh, you're a rat. No, I'm not a rat. That you shot my fucking husband, my fiance, in the eye like a bitch. And it was something that you did, and you shot me too like a bitch. And
wow.
I can't say nothing about it. No, I'm sorry, but you're trying to intimidate the wrong white girl.
Right.
And I'm not for it.
But what did you get shot at?
My arm right there.
Oh, wow, okay.
Right, like he was at the back door and he turned around and looked at me. He was like, "You too, you fucking bitch." And I threw up my arm like this, and the stupid thought he shot me in the forehead because I fell over on the bed. I only fell over because I thought he was going to keep shooting. So he ran out the house and I ran over to my man and he died in my arms, but I knew he was dead, but I was hoping I was wrong. I was praying to God I was wrong. And like just not really knowing. And besides, I don't really know.
Right.
So reality set in and I was like, oh, if I don't get out of here, they're going to kill me and then no one's ever going to know what happened to him. So I was like, I had to get help. And I was so torn whether I should stay or go. Because I felt like I didn't want to leave him. Like I was a punk bitch leaving him. But at the same time, if I hadn't left him, then no one would have ever known who shot him.
And that guy would still be out here on these streets.
Because I was the only witness.
Damn.
And I would be dead too.
Right, because he probably would eventually came.
He tried to get me to come back to the house. Little did he know, he didn't know at the time that I was the one that called the ambulance. I ran all the way over to the next town.
Right.
I took off. It took me 5 minutes to get there. I booked.
Damn.
But at some point, I had to slow my roll so I didn't draw attention to myself.
Yeah.
But when I got over to the next town, like, I got up to a store, a corner store, and I asked the guy, could I use this phone? And he said, yeah. And there was this girl in there that did dates and stuff. And at the time I was doing construction work and I was doing demo work. And I felt like, no woman really enjoys doing that.
Right.
And if I could help her and save her from having to do that, even just, for a little while during the day, I'm going to do it. So every day when I got off work, I bought her a pill, and I would sit and smoke 2 Reddies with her. And I would actually lie to my man about my money for her, just to save her from having to suck another.
Right.
And I'm sorry.
No, that's cool. Yeah.
And so this ungrateful rat ass bitch, excuse my language, but this ungrateful girl was in the store when I called an ambulance, and she was like, Crystal, you want me to go down there and check on him? And I said, no, don't go down there. You gonna put yourself in danger. And she just argued with me about it, and I said I begged her not to go down there, but she told me she wouldn't, but she did anyway. When she came back up there, she did not know that I had already called the hospital and checked on his condition, and they had told me then he was in grave condition. So when I ran into her about 20 minutes after that, she was like, Snow, he's down at the house. He's fine, honey.
That's what she told you?
She tried to set me up.
Oh my God.
She
really?
went down there and made a deal with them. So.
Wow.
Yeah, and I had done this stuff for her every day for over a year. That's how cruddy people can
Yeah, I mean, they grind me. Even where I'm from, up north, I mean, I had a girl get sent to a dude that was trying to basically delete her. And the person that was in the middleman was only paid $7 to get the girl to the killer. And she took $7 to set her up.
Are you serious?
For $7.
Was she aware that she had somebody's life taken from them?
No,
this girl was aware that they were going to kill me.
Right.
And like, she came back. She was like, Crystal, he said he wants you to come home. He said, just take the day off work. You had a rough morning. Just take the day off and come home. Come on home. He needs you there. I said, I'm not going there. She said, you're not going to go and be with your man? I said, bitch, I had a monkey wrench in my pocket. I said, bitch, you don't back up from me right now, I'm going to crack you across your head with this. And it took everything in me not to, because she knew what they were going to do to me. She was well aware of what they were going to do to me. And
I hope you stay away from her, like, from here on.
Honey, she stays away from me.
Okay, I got you. I got you.
I made that very clear. And then right after that, the guy texted me on my phone, because that was a phone me and my boyfriend had shared at the time. The guy texted me and said, Chris, Roy said, can you get some peroxide from Family Dollar for him? He was like, he's fine. He just has like a mild cut. And I was
wow.
Like, I flipped out. I said, sorry about using the N-bomb. That was the first and only time I've ever used that word.
Right.
But, I was like, you stupid. I was like, you got the wrong girl for that. I said, I'm not scared of you, and you're going to get what you deserve. And I was like, I'm dying on you. I told him.
I can't believe the killer actually texted you to lure you back and tell you that your boyfriend who was dead is okay.
And
he has a scratch.
Text, and I gave it to the detective.
Wow. What an idiot. Why would you even connect yourself with that through text? I mean, he snitched on himself. Technically, I mean, he helped.
You know how he got caught?
How?
Now get this. This is how stupid he is. And this is why I don't believe that he's got any strings that he can pull. I told him, I made him well aware that I went to the police. Well aware. And gave him his name and everything.
Wow.
I don't want this part on there.
Okay, I pause it. Go ahead.